Hey, can I introduce Corey? Corey, and we'll tell you about his company, but I thought we got some lawyers talking today, but I thought by bringing a young, vibrant, hot company that's doing mostly Facebook, but you can talk about the rest of the stuff from what I get from my friend Jenny. Talk about what they're doing, not only for lawyers, but other clients, kind of broaden it out and specifies it as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me this morning. I guess I'll give you a little background on Drive to kind of start. We are probably, right now we're voted by St. Louis Small Business Journal as the #1 social media agency in all of St. Louis. One of the big things we do is we take all the likes, clicks, comments, shares, check-ins, interactions, piece of engagement that happen on your Facebook and show you how that pairs up with your total sales and end goals. Most people don't realize Facebook is probably the easiest platform to see and measure ROI from. And so one of the things we specialize in is taking all that content and showing you guys how that's leading to more clients. Some of the partners we work with, you guys would recognize here would be like St. Louis Public Library, we've done the National Predators, Google Clusters. We transcend a lot of different verticals because the idea is social media, and Facebook specifically, you have like 7 billion people in the world, is roughly estimated at. 1/3 of the world has regular access to the internet. That brings out about 2 billion people. There's 1.7 billion monthly users on Facebook. So essentially, if you have the internet, you have Facebook. And so that's one of the big focuses for us. And so we can take that tool, whatever you're trying to offer the service or product, you guys can take that to the client you're trying to reach or the potential customer. What we want to also talk about essentially is like the evolution of digital, where Facebook was, where it is currently, and where they plan to go in the coming years, and how that ties into your guys' brands. So anybody have any questions before I move in or go on? Fire away.
How was your wedding in Mexico?
Oh, incredible. A lot better than the weather today.
Congratulations,
yeah,
by
thank
the
you
way.
very much. Thank you.
Not the question you expected.
No, I'm good with that one though. I can handle that one. So what I want to do is I want to promote Facebook, talk about the evolution, what's changed. In this room, does anybody have a Facebook business account for their practice? Everybody show hands? Okay. So one of the things, how long, everyone had one for at least a couple of years, maybe going back as far as like 2012, or would have been using the platform? Okay, then I'm going to. So when Facebook originally was created in 2004, Facebook was created on the auto roll algorithm. The auto roll algorithm simply means chronological order. If you made a post at 12 o'clock and your friend made a post at 12:01 and your other friend made a post at 12:02, it just kept moving things down the chain. So if you logged on to Facebook back then, you could see 100% of the content that a brand or a friend would post. But if you also think about how you used Facebook back then, the utility of the platform was a little bit lower. You could only access it from a desktop or laptop. So if you wanted to make a post or interact with friends and family, you had to go home, log onto your computer, update your content, log off, and go on about your life. So average person was touching the platform 3-4 times a month. Fast forward to 2007, 2008, the iPhone and Android bubble takes place. So now we literally have the internet in the palm of our hands. Up until that point in time, you might have had a Nokia cell phone where you could play Brick Breaker or Snake, but you definitely weren't surfing the web. So with the ability to have the iPhone and the internet in the palm of your hands, we started encountering more content going to the platform. This gave birth to a couple of things. The reviewer, the selfie, your friend that's a political expert that you didn't know about that's sharing all their views leading up in this last month. You get every single thought that goes through someone's head. So now people go from 3 to 4 times a month touching the platform to 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. The average user of Facebook touches the platform 14 times a day. Think about how frequently, if you're doing mail, direct mail right now, how frequently somebody goes to their mailbox. Once a day, maybe. Some people go now, every couple of days. Even TV utility, radio utility is just not the same frequency of Facebook. So Facebook started encountering an overload of content. They were encountering a bottleneck. So they had to make a change. This is right around 2011. The other thing they need to do is they need to grow up. They hadn't monetized yet. They were just raising money. And one of the ways they were going to start converting to a currency providing platform was they were going to start offering ads. In order to serve the most ads to people, they had to create an experience that made people want to spend time on the platform. So they developed the EdgeRank algorithm, which is what you'll see today. The EdgeRank algorithm weighs your likes, comments, shares, check-ins, pieces of interaction and engagement, as well as what you do on the internet and third-party data to determine what each individual person likes to see the most. So take myself, for example. I'm a bit of an athlete. I love the outdoors. And so anytime I can find anything about the St. Louis Cardinals, or if Patagonia or REI are having a sale, to me, that's not an ad. It's stuff I care about and I want to know about. I would love to be able to buy something that is on sale or know when a new product comes in that would make my experience better with that brand. So what people really go to the platform to do is stay in touch with friends and family. If a commercial comes on in your car in the morning commute, most people's first instinct is to change the channel. People don't like being marketed to. And so Facebook had to create an experience where the ads felt native. And also, if a business is always on there telling you about their $9.99 lunch special or call my law practice, call my law practice, call my law practice, it's not very entertaining for the end user. So Facebook had to essentially take away a lot of the organic or unpaid reach from a brand's page. And when they rolled out the EdDrink algorithm in 2013, you went from being able to reach 100% of your audience for 100% free to now only being able to reach 16% of your audience. So if anybody has ever tried to use Facebook and says, Facebook doesn't work for my practice, or I'm just not getting in front of people, that's actually due to the change of the EdDrink algorithm. So in 2013, if you made a post, out of every 100 fans, only 16 people would see that content. You lost the ability to market to 84% of those people. Now, that ads platform, that ads feature that Facebook needed to add was called the ads platform. They originally launched that. It was $80 to $90 per 1,000 impressions, but it gave you some cool features. It gave you the ability to target people on 4 to 10 self-reported interests, self-reported age, and self-reported location. So if you're Coke, Pepsi, Ford, Kraft, you have experimental marketing budgets, that's really, really exciting to you. If you're any medium to small business doing 10 million or less, $80 to $90 per 1,000 impressions is 3 to 4 times the cost of all other traditional advertising. It doesn't make financial sense. Facebook identified 90% of us on the platform are small to medium businesses. So they had to make it more cost effective for more people to convert to the platform. So year over year, all the way to actually what we lead to today, they decrease our ability to reach people for free from our business's page. As a user, so when I log on as Corey Box, I'm able to still reach the same amount of my friends and family because they want to stay in touch with me. But if I log on from Drive Social Media's page and I make a post, today the national average reach is 0 to 1%. So if you have somebody like Gary with like 1,600 fans on Facebook, how could you ever see any type of measurement of ROI if 0 to 1% of people are seeing your content? You put a billboard in the desert. Now, one of the beautiful pieces of this, though, as they've driven down your organic reach, is Facebook ads have become the most cost-effective form of marketing today. So they trump newspaper, magazine, radio, cable TV, AdWords, LinkedIn ads. Facebook ads are as low as 25 cents per 1,000 impressions. For $1, you can get 4,000 eyeballs on your brand. That's pretty cost-effective. The other piece of that is, let's just kind of walk through some of those. Let's start with like radio. By a show of hands, does anybody in the room have either Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, listen to XM radio, satellite radio? So if I run traditional local ads on local radio broadcast now, I can't even reach you like I used to be able to. By a show of hands, Netflix, Hulu, DVR services. I can't even hit you with my commercials anymore on local TV. Print media, doctor's offices, Valvoline, you walk in, they have the Cosmopolitan for girls or Men's Health for men or GQ, and you can pick those up, read those off the table. How many people are reading those print magazines versus how many people are sitting there looking at their phone, cruising their feet? And even if you think about radio and TV, a lot of people, whenever watching TV in today's world, my wife specifically, as soon as a commercial comes on, she pulls out her phone and starts going through things. They're asking you to engage. Tweet us, talk to us here, hashtag us here. So the idea is the utility of all those platforms have at best diminished, and we know that people are touching Facebook 14 times a day. Our likelihood of getting in front of our audience is incredibly high. So now that we know we have to pay for Facebook ads, I want to kind of make sure everyone's clear on what a Facebook ad looks like. So I'm going to jump into Casey's feed. If we see anything crazy, I just met Casey. I don't know if she is, but let's not judge. So we have 2 types of ads. We have right-hand side rail ads. These are very small graphic surface area. They have copy at the bottom and very small room for a call to action button, like call now, sign up here, learn more. The one thing about these are they're incredibly cost effective. These are 25 cents per 1,000 impressions. But the only reality of this is, do most people, do you guys click on these? Does the average person?
The one on the right or the one on the left?
The one on the right.
No.
It's good for eyeballs. It's going to let somebody know if you have a restaurant or you're close to somebody in proximity and they would have a reason to come into your brick and mortar and they possibly work in an office building next to you. But ultimately, that doesn't lead to a lot of conversion. And it's only visible from the desktop platform. From the words of Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO and founder of Facebook himself, Facebook is a mobile platform. Majority of browsing takes place on the mobile device. And think about it even further, Black Friday sales this year, at an incredible retail day, We did about 4 billion online sales. A third of that came from mobile device. So more and more people are going to stop logging into that, and they're going to carry that around, and that's going to be their means to the internet. So the most powerful ad we'd want that transcends both desktop, laptop, and mobile and tablet is our native newsfeed ads. Native newsfeed ads come sandwiched between content between friends and family and brands we've chosen to engage with. And this doesn't feel like an ad when targeted to the right consumer because it's content I care about. If I can consume this, this is relevant to me. And so what you can do, you have a bigger graphic surface area. It can be optimized for video. It also can have copy at the top. And you can lead consumers to do a desired action. Shop now. Learn more. Sign up here. Call now. Get directions. So anytime you put an advertisement in front of somebody, the question we want to ask ourselves is, what do we want them to do when they see it? Now we don't have to leave that to just simply what they choose. We can ask them to do a certain feature. The other thing you get out of this is you get the power of influence. Birds of a feather or birds of a socioeconomic feather typically flock together. So what Casey's saying here is her friends Jamie Jones and Brittany Michelle Bloom and 12 others like this too. I like this. My friends probably like this too. So Facebook is optimizing content based around the fact that they think you have a sphere of influence as well. The other beautiful piece of this is Facebook has become the world's largest purchaser of third-party data. So they are buying aggressively and have been buying aggressively from Visa, MasterCard, home loan, auto loan companies, AccuData, anybody, Polk, Abscom, anybody you think that is aggregating data and then again reselling it, Facebook is going on after. So now we can target people not only based on what they say they like, but what they're actually buying. When this process started, Facebook had about 42% of all your purchases paired with your Facebook identification code if you lived in North America over the age of 21. By 2018, they expect they'll be able to pair 80% of the purchases you make with your Facebook identification code. So if you buy Crest, but you like Colgate on Facebook, they'll be able to discern the difference. And so they can run more ads to the brand that makes most sense to you. You're able to target people based on relationship status. I imagine there are people, well, I don't know what type of attorneys are here, but there's divorce attorneys in the world. So anybody is separated, that would be somebody I could see play you a possible client. Going into type of market segment, what type of buyers are they? What type of home value do they have? What type of industry, and actually all the way down to where do they work, income, net worth, parents, life events, and political affiliation. So away from family, away from hometown, new job, newly engaged, recently moved. All this, what you guys see in front of you, is a scratch of the surface. So the idea is you don't have to pick one category. You can build the avatar of the perfect individual you'd like to market to. And so this goes on and on all the way down to what type of vehicle you own. You can even put an ad based on the geolocation of a mobile device in someone's feed. So for example, if I was, is next door Monty's? I think that's right.
Down the street.
Monty's, yeah. Monty's could put an ad in the news feed of any person within a 1 mile radius and let them know about their lunch special. Food, shelter, water. I imagine if someone's hungry, you don't have to put it on sale. You don't have to give them something. Just letting them know that you offer this service, you provide a solution to a problem. But even more powerful than this group here, this is what we're called the secondary audience. Just because we want to do business with folks in this category does not mean they want to do business with us. So we have a group of people who have been prospecting us, who are warm, who are interested in our business, or have done business with us in the past. And these people fall into a couple of different categories. So one of the first ones is our Facebook fans. So Gary has 1,600 people who went out of their way to say, keep me up to date when you guys do things. Let me know with what's going on in the space of law. But since it changed the algorithm, if Gary's making a post right now and 0 to 1% of people are seeing his content, these people haven't been nurtured for a while. There's 1,600 people haven't heard from us for a while. So we want to get back in front of those folks, make sure we let them know when we have new information to share. The other one would be email addresses. Most websites, I imagine, are optimized to collect emails, or imagine in this room, are designed to collect emails, or you get them from people you do work with. You can actually take those emails and pair them with their Facebook identification codes, and we can actually nurture people natively in their newsfeed, so that newsfeed ad. Email campaigns on a high-performing campaign have a 25% open rate. 1 in 4 people are opening your content. If I put it in their newsfeed, they're forced to see it. And we can actually serve it to them 2 to 4 times a day if need be, if that's going to increase the frequency in which we need them to convert. So, talking about ad impression frequency. If we make one single boosted post, think of that similar to putting a flyer underneath the windshield. I don't know how many people are the last time they've converted off a flyer being stuck in their windshield in this room. But you'll find Coca-Cola rolling 7 to 10 commercials to you during Breaking Bad or the Blues game. And it's not because Coca-Cola doesn't think you don't know about them. It's not because Coca-Cola thinks you forgot about them. There's a certain number of times people need to see things, 7 to 10, they're called impression frequencies, for someone to be able to recall. So when I say, ba-da-da-da-da, you guys know I'm talking about McDonald's. So, and I'm sorry, I'm not a great singer. So the idea there is, if I can get somebody to 7 to 10 quicker, so with this event here, I can actually push them through the funnel faster to converting. The last one, and one of the most powerful ones, is actually, let me back this up. At this point in time, a lot of businesses start thinking about, like, how do most people find me? How are most people coming into my business? If these are word of mouth marketing, you're in an incredible location, possibly PR, you got a great news segment done about you, be your print marketing, radio, TV, whatever it is you think that works. If somebody hears something good about you or is convinced or swayed by the marketing you have in circulation, what's the first thing they have to do to ever do business with you in today's world? Does anybody pull out a map, an atlas, and say, that's where it is, and get in their car and drive straight there? No. We go to our phones or we go to our desktop, we Google it, and then we go to their website. Get hours of operation, get phone numbers, figure out about the services, client testimonials, reviews, whatever they can. They're going to research before they ever have to call you. And so we have tons and tons of people visiting our website every single year who never pick up the phone and contact us, so we don't have an opportunity to do business with them. So I told Gary I was going to actually demo off of his brand. So right now, when I go to Gary's website, I installed what's called a free Google Chrome extension. I recommend everyone put this on their browser. It's called the FB Pixel Helper. And that helps you identify if any brands are remarketing to you, retargeting you with content. When I go to Gary's website, it lights up gray. When I go to ours, it lights up blue. What that tells me is that people are hearing interesting things about Gary. They're going to his website, and if they don't call him or email him right then and there, he never hears from him and gets a chance to do business with them. They've been influenced, they've heard something good, and they're researching you. I just pulled up our website, and I plugged into a free resource you guys can all use to kind of measure competition by website traffic. How much traffic you're getting a year. This is statshow.com. It's a free resource. You can plug in a website, any website. And our website, we're getting 14,235 unique people landing on our website every single year. We have 140 clients on retainer right now. We are leaving a lot of meat on the bone. Most businesses, when they run this through their own practice, will figure out or use your Google Analytics how many people are dropping off and never converting. Hearing something, and then life is happening. Kids have soccer practice. Significant other doesn't feel well, so they don't have time to pick up the phone and call you. They're at home taking care of them. Or whatever it is that they were interested in converting to just falls out of interest. So we need to get back in front of those people. And when done correctly, what we can do is also get brand ambassadors. There are people we've significantly helped and improved their quality of life. And we can show the people who are Facebook fans, our email audience, and our website visitors, and we get back in front of them and show them good content, because we know that we're going to be people that like it, comment on it, and share it on our behalf. So we want to show it to them first, and then we're going to open up to all those other people who don't know us from Adam. They're outside of our sphere of influence, our 1 degree of separation from us. So I can influence how they actually buy. Or say, why are all these people commenting, sharing? Why are my friends engaging with Burger Law? I just actually got a car accident. What is Burger Law? And so you can actually go in and have a conversation with these individuals as well. Talk fast. Talk repeatedly, or incessantly. Anybody have any questions? Okay. Anybody about their own practice? How this will tie into theirs? Is anybody currently doing Facebook ads or Facebook targeting?
We are.
You guys are? Hey, what type of return are you guys seeing from it?
You'd have to ask Vince's friend, Stephen Campbell, who's my admin and marketing guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Vince works for you guys.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm Emily's boss, too.
Okay. Awesome. So are you guys do you know if you're doing like impression-based campaigns? Are you getting call now type options?
I know specifically once the Pixel, I'm not even going to use these words right. Once the Pixel started getting used and he was reviewing, we target particular videos or particular posts to particular either age demographics or local demographic geography.
Awesome. Okay. The idea there is what they're redoing is they're finding where people are landing on their website and they're continuing the conversation. If you meet my criteria, so I don't want to nurture people who could never convert to me. The idea there is think Groupon. Groupon, when it first started, if anyone in this room ever bought one, incredible value, really liked it. I haven't done business with them in about 6-7 years. Most businesses, you ask them what they think of Groupon, they hate it. Groupon is the worst thing they've ever done because Groupon has a group of customers that come in, buy on the discount, and never do business with you again. The idea is if I give up value on the front end and I give you good service, you live my buying radius and you can afford it, you'll come back and do business with me again. So I love that you guys are segmenting by audiences so that when they're landing on the website, if it's personal injury, continue the conversation, 10 things you need to know about personal injury being represented by personal injury. Reverse engineer, what type of information are these people looking for? What would be something that is of value I could give these individuals that positions me as an expert, that gives them a reason to contact me? So, an incredible thing I think, I show hands, personal injury, car accident in this room, okay. Bankruptcy, divorce, class action, anything like that as well, okay. So, the idea is like, if I could find people who are at an intersection or around an intersection that constantly there's an accident, which is like, I live in Nashville right now, it's terrible traffic, I can find 1,000. You can serve ads to people and say 10 things you need to know if you've been in a car accident. And then from there, you can ask them to call you at the end. Or you can even add that ad if they do actually click on the ad and go back to your website, reserve them with an ad to call you so you straight line. It's sequential storytelling. You guys, up to this point in time, if you've been using traditional media, we've been asking, all of us have been asking to go from cold to hot. I saw it and I come right in. The reality is it takes a little bit more of influence, especially because now we can pull out our phones and research more, and there's so much inundation of information that there's drop off. And so we know that when someone hears us from the first time, they're going to spend some time researching, prospecting, looking at our competitors before they ever convert. And so the average consumer checks out 4 of your competitors before they ever call you. So it's not that your consumer is not on Facebook or going to your website. You're just losing out 75% to your other competitors, the other people who offer the same service you do. That's the power of getting back in front of those folks through social. Any questions? That's kind of, Gary, that would be the rest of us going to open a Q&A.
So these are great. I love it. I was taking notes. Is this something that I can do myself? Or how does the rubber meet the road in doing this? And I get, as Susan mentioned, she has someone. I've done different things, but I don't think I do it that well.
So let's jump into your page. Looks like you guys do boosting. Yeah. Anybody here boosted any posts?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go into what the pros and cons of boosting, because that is like your Staples easy button, your self-service tool. So boosting has some benefits. It's really, really great for getting messages out quickly, but it's incredibly expensive, and it also has some limited features, and you're almost always leaving somebody out your audience. So with Boost, you have 3 features. You can target people who are fans of your page, target people who are fans of your page and their friends, and you can target people based on basically whatever interests that you find that are dealable to or valuable to your organization. If you target people who like your page, awesome. Get back in front of those who invest with you. Invest with those that invest with you. The only thing is, business is a funnel. We need new people coming in all the time. It doesn't allow us to get in front of new people. So we would target people who like our page and their friends, again, invest with those who invest with you, and find the birds of a feather. The problem is, we represent people locally. We have friends, most of us, if you're like me, have friends from California, New York, Tennessee. If you served an ad to my friend that lives in California and you can't be in, is it court for them? Forgive me for not knowing the correct term. But you can't represent them in court because they're in California for you, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to nurture that audience. The third option is people you choose for targeting. It gives you self-reported interests, so self-reported things that I say, I like Bentley cars. I'm a driver of Ford Fusion, probably not Bentley's customer yet. The other thing is you don't get the ability to target people who already have expressed interest in you. So you're always leaving out some form of audience. Also, you can only time segment by 1, 3, and 7 days. And you can't choose the placement of where they go on your inventory. So if Facebook's going to optimize your ad to self, you allocate $20 budget, Facebook wants that $20. So if they don't have a lot of native newsfeed inventory because you didn't select it, they're going to optimize you for right-hand side rail ads. But we all know the right-hand side rail ads aren't high converting. So when I talk about a Staples easy button or a self-service tool, that's a great self-service tool. If I was going to do a content, I was going to bring it in-house. A couple things you're going to need to execute a campaign successfully. Good content, graphic designer. You're gonna want somebody that makes it look good. There's a difference from writing, I have new product, or this is my new product, and putting it in front of people, making them want it. The other thing is copy. Writing to inform and writing to sell are different. So you're gonna want somebody who writes interesting things and makes your product or your offerings interesting to folks. then you're going to want a community manager, somebody who's going to be able to roll through. Once someone sees your stuff and it works, we got fish on the line. What do we do? What do we say to them? Thank you so much for liking our post. No, we want to ask them, how did you hear about us? Or what was it that led you to us? Or what currently are you facing? Ask them to give us some information. We want to have a conversation. We go off of what's called jab, 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 right hook. This might be something, yeah, it's set up for the right hook, right? It's a boxing metaphor. So the idea there is, someone says something on the internet or says something, visits our page or says something in comments, I want to go in and I want to say something to them, but I want to ask a question. I want to open up the conversation. If they say something back to me and we're able to then ask one more question, I've earned the right to ask them to go to my website, to download this here, to call me, to contact me, or ask when they're going to come in. A community manager wants to identify, have I ever done business with this person before? Because I'm going to talk different to that person. I'm going to talk about new things we're providing. Or if they haven't done business before, put your best foot forward. If I'm Emos, I want to talk about thin crust pizza. I shouldn't be talking about the salads. I imagine they sell salads, but I don't think that's what they made their business on. So we want to talk about our best thing, put our best foot forward. And the last one's the analytics manager. Facebook is an abyss of data. The beauty of digital is you can measure exactly how many people saw it, what they did when they saw it, how long they viewed it, if they, how many people took an action. You can split test stuff. If people like pictures of girls and when they see your branding as opposed to pictures of guys, you can fine tune that message and the audience that resonates with the best. The only thing is in all that SIA data is for interpretation. Very easy to skew reporting and saying, I think it's working well. So you want somebody who's going to be able to read between the lines and make suggestions and edits to your campaign so you can continue improving your content. And that's why brands like Geico go from the caveman to the gecko. The story, the offering's still the same, but the story is changing to keep it entertaining to the end user and consumer. So those are the type of individuals you would want to hire if you're going to do this in-house, Gary. Most people find in any individual of those positions, baseline salary is going to be about $3,000 a piece, or $32,000 a piece, $3,000 a month. Sorry.
So is this something? Is this something I can't do myself?
Facebook has become so complicated; it has become something you can't do yourself. I think you can. I think the barrier to entry is start somewhere, take action, start measuring and learning the space. But I think in general, in terms of if you're up and functioning, you're a cash flowing business, this is one of those things you just need to allocate time to because your consumers are on that space, and you need to allocate time to somebody who does it professionally. And my example of that is, was it Lincoln had Matthew McConaughey do those commercials, right? I'm sure everyone saw them or at least heard about it some way or another. It's a great commercial, very entertaining, minute and a half long spot, minute long spot. The local Lincoln dealership does a commercial during when I get ready for work in the morning, and I hate it. It's grainy, it's buy now, come down today, I'll sell you a car, I got cars on sale, and that's not how consumers convert. So not putting content that's contextual to the audience on the platform correctly waters down our brand value. So you could do it, you just gotta kind of know those products really well. Go ahead.
So then I guess my other question is how efficacious, how effective is it? How does it work? In your experience with your clients, is it, I get the numbers. I like all your statistics in the beginning. This is who sees it, people don't do. I have Netflix, I don't see TV, I can't stand TV commercials.
Right.
So I never see other lawyer ads because I'm only doing that. But you're right, I sit around watching TV with my family, I look around, everybody's watching their phones.
Yeah.
So in your, and not just selling your company,
Yeah.
but which is great, thank you for doing that too, but how effective is these type of advertising programs have your clients or the folks you work with find or that you read about in the industry?
So right now, if you ask any marketing experts, most agencies, even print, whatever it is, all TV, radio, they're all switching to this. The highest ROI exists here. This has not hit apex yet. So right now, if you were to go buy a billboard, it's saturated. The cost of a billboard is not going to go down. People don't, right? That price is fixed. So if it was $1 to get in front of audiences on a billboard, you're getting it at $1 right now. Facebook audiences are that same dollar audience, but you're getting about 10 cents. So you have yet to hit what is apex, where you and all the other people you share space with. The other thing is, how many people are continuously and effectively mining this right here, are using Facebook, using where the new audience, using where, realistically, the folks who adopted this, I adopted this at 19 years old. I'm 30 now, so it's been 11 years that I've been able to use this platform. With that thought process, you're right, in the beginning, I was not a person you wanted to market to. Now I'm a 30-year-old man. There are a lot of things you can help represent me in. Your audience is here, and your cost to reach them is the lowest possible here. So I think the efficacy is incredibly high. There's nothing, even with Google AdWords, like, I understand mesothelioma is probably the highest cost PPC AdWord right now you can go after. It's $140 a click. What if you're just running content to people who lived in areas where you know that's an issue, and you're getting for 25 cents 1,000 eyeballs and 10 things how you might have been exposed to mesothelioma, or 10 ways you would be able to identify, or what to do if you believe you've been exposed to mesothelioma. Asbestos, and you could correct mesothelioma.
What about conversion?
So, by conversion, you mean like how many people directly do something?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. The more I look through my Facebook feed, it's all ads now. It's hard for me to discern between. I think it's getting more and more. But so, what about your conversion rate and leads that people are getting for their investment? Is that a good deal for them?
Yeah. So our goal is to bring 3 to 4 times return. You bring me $1, I need to bring you $3 to $4 back. All ships rise with the tide. So if you guys aren't making money, we can't stay with you. And our biggest cost, just like you guys, is acquiring new partners. So it's probably the biggest focus. That's so conversion is interesting because conversion is a numbers game. You have to do basically market research. When we start thinking about what we're going to say to our audience, we're guessing. We're the ballpark. We understand what we want to say and what they find value in, but ultimately we don't know. So we're going to measure, we're going to split test what type of messaging, what type of content do they care about, what is getting the most traction, and we're going to optimize content around that. And so social and digital work kind of in what's called like a minimum viable product. You're going to build, test, and measure, and run that through a feedback loop over and over again. So you're going to constantly get more and more data and refine your cost of customer acquisition and typically lower it because you're going to identify your audience better and your messaging better. From there, you're going to set a baseline on how much does it cost for me to acquire a customer. If I spend $15 on an ad, I get 3 leads. So I get leads at $5 an ad. From there, it's how many leads do I want to get? Do I want 100 leads? And it's how many leads you have to touch before you convert. Yes?
So when you work, let's say, for a small law firm, and I'm not asking how much you charge, how do you work by the hour? Do you work by the click?
We're retainer based.
Okay.
And there's a couple different ways how agencies peel the orange. The number one thing I would tell you guys, if someone comes to you and says, I'd like to represent you social media, ask, are they doing a paid strategy? If someone's talking about an organic posting strategy, as I explained early on, organic is dead. So how much they charge, if there are different ways that people can charge you. They can do a one-time setup, they can do hourly contracting, you can bring someone in-house. If I was to say, I'm gonna take a bare bones team and I'm gonna set it up, and I was gonna run this internally because I don't wanna, I pay an agency, I'm gonna harvest my own assets here. I need a graphic designer, that's about $3,000 a month. They have $32,000 a year would be baseline entry for them. So $3,000 a month. And then an analytics manager would be the minimum. Somebody you can actually set your ads and measure and tell you what's going on. Because you want like an accountant approach.
Right.
You don't have feelings about the pictures. You want to know how the pictures respond with your audience. And so those 2 people, and so that person would be another. They're going to be about $6,000 a month just in overhead there. That's why we exist. It's like if we don't have an unfair advantage where we're less, most agencies should be. If you're less than $6,000, you could be of value to me depending on how much you can bring me. And so you also need to say what are their average costs per thousand. Have you ever worked in this space? What's your cost of lead conversion? Things like that. What do you guys typically convert? What type of content do you have? And then ask yourself, do I think I would click on that? Do I think my audience would click on that? It is. Every person in this room has a high dollar education. You made the investment to learn so you could apply that knowledge. Same thing kind of here in this space. This is new. 20 years ago, the internet really wasn't that popular. Now, even you go back 11, Facebook wasn't even something we could use the term. It did not exist as a word in our vocabulary. So this is all brand new. It's infantile. So we all still have to kind of learn, but the upside to that learning curve is astronomical once you iron it out. So it's like this is, right now I don't think anybody thinks that the internet is going to go less or down in utility in the coming years. So it's like either jump in now, cut your teeth on somebody, figure out what works for you to convert. Because pretty soon, I mean, you already see Snapchat spectacles are selling for $1,000 on Amazon, and they only have like 1 disposed booth. Wearables are becoming very popular. Got an Apple Watch in here, but you're going to find more and more people who want to stay connected with the internet than anything else. And so, how many people are cutting cable? I don't even listen to regular radio anymore. So it's like you're going to have to adapt to get new customers. And so start testing. Other good questions. Anybody specifically like practical for their brand? Like what works? What's best practices? Anything like that? Anybody have questions like, hey, we're this type of business, what do you think we could do?
Assume that we're a small law practice that wants to get the most bang out of our butt and we're cheap. And we want to start off. When I started doing Google AdWords and analytics, I did it myself because I could figure it out. Now I can't anymore. I can't figure it out, which is kind of what you were alluding to before. Like maybe you used to be able to do Facebook, but now you can't. So, but frankly, I've only boosted posts and I've tried some other stuff. But so what if I was going to try to get my feet wet, but I didn't want to spend the money? I didn't want to spend $5,000 a month. What am I going to start by doing?
I would pick what is our greatest advantage, what is our true value proposition, what do we offer people that they really is our kind of gateway drug to us, and I would create content around that. So let's say you are a small law practice.
What if I wanted to do it myself and then fail, but maybe I start getting some successes?
Yeah.
And then maybe I move to a place where I
would probably boost posts to people who fit your audience. And then I would do it consistently. I would allocate a budget to them, and I would say, I'm going to consistently do this. I'm going to make sure I hit 7 to 10 impressions with these individuals. The other one is, there's other platforms in Facebook that Facebook owns. Facebook owns Instagram. Instagram has just rolled out their ads platform in like fall of this year. There's still a ton of organic upside. So you can also develop followers from there. So if I was trying to bootstrap something I didn't know cash, it's a great way to repurpose effort that you're currently putting on Facebook or never seeing your content, and start putting it on Instagram, and look for people who are hashtagging things. Either build a community around other lawyers and look at who's following those individuals, go out and follow them. Organically on Instagram, you get a 40% follow back rate. You find 10 people, 4 of them are just going to follow you back just because you followed them. So that's a great way to do it too. I would run an ad. I would create a graphically and contextually fit to the ad. So let me go kind of down here. So right here. So, I mean, do you mind, Gary, if I just kind of give you input on yours?
Tell me what
So right now you're using hashtags. Hashtags are how you create a community around something. It's non-contextual to the platform. Facebook doesn't read it any differently.
What does that mean?
Non-contextual to the platform?
Yeah.
You're talking to your priest like you talk to your buddy at the bar. You're talking on Facebook in a way that people don't communicate. So you're using hashtags. No one's searching for hashtags underneath there. I can go to Instagram and I can hashtag St. Louis Cardinals and find all the St. Louis Cardinals fans that ever use that hashtag across the U.S. Right now, I couldn't do that underneath Facebook for you.
Don't put it on Facebook because no one's hashtagging.
That's not, yeah. And I love that you're doing short copy. People's attention span is super short, small, digestible chunks. Give them breadcrumbs. Video is really good whenever you have some type of call to action at the end. Video views are incredibly low cost. We get video views for about a penny a view. Video tells a story much more powerfully than you'll get out of any type of picture or copy. People aren't going to click through to your blog typically, or a lower click-through rate than they will to your video content that's kind of nutshells it.
And when you talk about video content, is that video on Facebook or video on YouTube?
Video on Facebook.
It's got to be on Facebook.
Yeah, so actually that's a really good question.
Finally.
Yeah, YouTube. No, YouTube and utility. How frequently does the average person touch Facebook? 14 times a day. How frequently does the average person touch YouTube? I don't know, but I imagine if this room, unless that's the platform you're trying to market on, it might be once a week, once every couple of weeks, once a month. So the utility is super low. There's actually 10 million video views on Facebook every single day. It surpassed TV. So they actually argue that Snapchat's ready to do that too. So prepare for that. Snapchat's obviously getting ready for their IPO. So they just opened up ads platform this year. They had a goal of $350 million, and they are close to $1 billion, it's rumored. So they far surpassed their goal. And they are offering the same type of targeting features that exist. It is the fastest growing of the platform. So video views, if I was on YouTube, you can keep them on YouTube, but I would optimize them and I would post them on Facebook. If you want most traction, you're going to want to build that network and that channel on Facebook. The other thing with Facebook Live. Facebook Live is interesting. If you really think about how Facebook Live is working, you now don't have a middleman of a network. You have a direct-to-consumer channel to communicate. So all you need are just a bunch of viewers. And by laws of average, if 1,000 people land on your website and we net one new client, if I get 2,000, 3,000 people, I net 3, 4 new clients. The only thing I can adjust there is how many people convert to my website or how many people I'm putting on my website. And so video views are a great way to get a lot of people on your website to increase your laws of conversion or your rules of conversion or average. So yeah, percentage, there we go. And so right now, not that I don't think YouTube has purpose, I just would singular focus, Facebook would be it. Yes?
Is a practice-specific question okay?
Yeah, I would love that.
My practice is an appellate practice.
Okay.
Before the internet, my clients were all trial lawyers. Referral sources were all trial
Sure.
lawyers. Most commonly, personal injury lawyers.
Okay.
Since the internet, it's pretty clear to me that some people are getting, you don't even have to get very sophisticated to figure out the skill set might be different for an appellate lawyer than for a trial lawyer. So I get some calls from individuals. Mostly the type of cases there would be divorce appeals or criminal appeals.
Okay.
The plaintiffs' lawyers are still calling me because of word of mouth, because of a lawyer.
Okay.
What if you were doing my campaigning? What would you do?
Is that for personal injury piece?
It's all fun.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So can I kind of just say
plaintiff
personal
stuff is
injury?
the best.
Yeah. So personal injury, I would look for industries where people or workplaces where people are common to have or susceptible to those injuries. And you can start building either companies where a lot of your cases come from. I would say do a profile of everybody who ever done business with you. Find out who is the most concentrated. If only 2 people came and everybody else has been single off, that's still your core. That's closer to the majority of your customers than anything else. And use that as your kind of your sample audience. And I would look in that industry, that vertical, and those companies that hire in that vertical, and I would try to target employees of those organizations and serve information to them about 10 things that you need to know in personal injury protection. Or have you been a victim of personal injury? And I don't know exactly the criteria you have to meet to qualify for a case, but that would probably be where I'd start. I would reverse engineer what would they look for? What would they look for as a solution as I provide that solution? So if I go to the pool of people who are likely to have this problem, I'm the solution. I present myself as an expert. They have a reason to contact me.
Is Facebook a good approach for targeting the plaintiff's attorneys?
Yeah, because that's the beauty of it. Most people are going to have their own practice. So with them having their own practice, they're going to have a Facebook business page. So they're all on there. Now what you'll find is you're not going to get Gary's personal page say Gary Berger, attorney. It's just say Gary Berger. But he'll have listed as his job profession, attorney. So and Facebook's also cross-referencing the fact that you own that other page too, and that'll pair you.
One basic thing you can do, so if you look at those view results, if you click on that, you can see where I targeted my boost. So when you boost a basic ad in the basic stuff, you can choose people who are lawyers.
Yes.
So that one, and some of these I target a general audience. So if you go, and I don't know if you can get to it from that one because that's already been boosted, but you can choose women, men, you can choose. So if you, on your Facebook page, if you say I'm a lawyer, you can do an ad that only goes to lawyers, only goes to personal injury lawyers.
Use segment messaging. So you would talk differently to lawyers than you would speak to possible clients.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Some of the technical stuff I don't understand. So
Bring it
what's
up.
a total spend, a budget and all that kind of stuff?
So Gary probably allocated, what was it, $20 to this? You probably your
So
average.
I do between 10 and 45. They changed the number gradations. I never know. They change
really
it
that's
about
all
every
it's
2 months, what you can do. And then you can choose how many days per day
Very cheap.
spend.
Yeah, no. As we were kind of capitulating, it's very cheap. You had 356 people, the exact consumer that you want to talk to, and for $16, you're able to just, I'm still here. I do this. I can help you. And so you had 25 people engage with that. So again,
Scoot to your right, your body.
oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So Corey, I know we're running out of time. If someone has other questions and they want to visit with you or someone from your company more about this, how do they get in touch with you?
I would say either contact myself or Brennan Green. Brennan Green is actually my counter here in St. Louis. We figured you guys wouldn't want the Dumb and Dumber approach to presenting, so I just...
Which one is which? No, you don't
Brendan?
need to ask.
Yeah.
You're not under oath. So it's Drive St. Louis. Sorry, Jenny?
I've got handouts if people want information.
We got handouts, and we'll put them up there by the Burger Law coffee mugs that you all are welcome to also. And then you guys visit with potential folks like us to see if we're a good fit and that kind of stuff. Some free counseling to make sure that...
What we'll specifically do is we'll do an analysis of your brand. We'll do an audit and show you all the opportunity that actually exists. And we'll try to articulate some type of dollar amount to what that can be for potential for you guys. So it's free. Worst case scenario, you learn kind of specifically for your brand what you guys can apply. I always tell people, we give you the playbook. Google and YouTube have almost completely eradicated intellectual property. So we understand that showing you the stuff doesn't mean you're always going to want to do it. But if you do want to, we might find an opportunity to partner there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.